Here we go again. What is up, everyone? I am here doing a Marvel tier list for all the MCU movies. I know this is very different to what I normally do, but I love the MCU. I thought this would be a fun idea. Without further ado, I guess we should just get started with the video. Let's see, we're gonna give the tiers actual names. Now, I don't dislike any of the movies. You're gonna give them actual names, not just these nonsense stuff. So, bottom tier is gonna be fine. They're just fine movies, they're not great, they're fine. And then we're gonna have the hoorah movies, because they're good movies. And then there's the really cool movies, because they're great, so they're really cool. And then the Magnifico, no. This one is Magnifico. There you go. Magnifico tier. Are you saying I spelled Magnifico? Huh? No, it's just Magnifico. I'm spelling it like that, okay? This word's officially part of the dictionary. And then almost, but not quite. There we go. There we go. That's the name of our tiers. Anyway, I guess we should do this. What? Okay. Ignore that. Anyway, let's do this. What movie we're gonna start off with? Oh yeah, we're gonna go in not chronological order, the order that the films were released in. So that means we're starting with the original Iron Man. The Iron Man is not quite Magnifico. It's almost, but not quite. I love Iron Man. I think it's an awesome movie. It's almost, but not quite Magnifico. It's that good. The origin story is the best MCU origin story by far. Well, not by far, but the best MCU origin story. And Robert Downey Jr. is fantastic in the movie. Everyone in general is really good in the movie. I know it's weird seeing Terrence Howard there, but I still like Terrence Howard. Please forgive the squeaking. Let's do it again. Ooh, ooh. Sorry. Anyway, more about Iron Man. The reason it's not Magnifico, because I do love almost everything about the movie. My minor gripe lies in with the villain and the transition from Obadiah Stane to Ironmonger. It's just like that. Don't know if you picked that up, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's just way too quick. It doesn't feel earned. It doesn't feel, well, it kind of feels earned, but it doesn't feel like, it doesn't feel like they fleshed it out enough. So that's why it's in the almost but not quite tier. Next up is the Incredible Hulk. The Incredible Hulk is going in the hoorah tier. I think Incredible Hulk is a hoorah movie. Because it's a good movie. It really is. Go back and rewatch the Incredible Hulk. Just because it doesn't really feel like an MCU movie doesn't automatically make it bad. Because I'll admit, I have nostalgia for this movie. I used to watch it a lot when I was younger. But that final battle is awesome. It's almost but not quite Magnifico. Which is probably, add that, there we go. It's just awesome. Ed Norton, I think, does a good job in the role. Not as good as Mark Ruffalo, but still pretty good. Overall, it's a pretty good movie. It's just underrated. I don't see why so many people hate it. There's nothing inherently awful about the movie, other than Liv Tyler. Yeah. She's always tearing up or crying. It's annoying. She's an annoying character. I hate her. But other than that, I think it's a good movie. Anyway, next up, Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2 is going in the fine tier. It's a fine movie. It was there. For an MCU movie, it's pretty eh. I mean, it happened. Okay, I'll tell you the good stuff about Iron Man 2. See that right first. Robert Downey Jr., of course, was great. But I didn't like how they handled Tony Stark's character. Because, he was very unlikable in the movie, you know, so he had no one to really root for. Justin Hammer, I thought he was really good. I liked Sam Rockwell a lot in the role. I thought he was just a really charming character, well, not charming, but entertaining character on screen, but he didn't get enough, you know? Feels like for every good thing, there's a but. So that's like my problem with the movie. The action scenes are good, the action scenes are great, but there's not enough, you know? See, there's a but for every good about the movie, you know? War Machine was cool, but he didn't appear until the end. At best, it feels like a setup for the Avengers, but you know, it's really just a setup movie, and they forgot to make a good movie in the process. That's why. I mean, I know it sounds like I'm hating on the movie, but it's very watchable. It's a very watchable movie. That's why it's in the fines here, but it's no more than that, you know. Next up is go away. Next up is Thor, and Thor is going in the hoorah tier. I have to say it like that every time. You can't just say hoorah, you know, that's lame. I have to say hoorah. Makes it feel more epic, especially when you're Thor. Well, I mean, I'm not Thor, but I'm putting Thor in there. That makes sense, right? Right? Anyway, moving on. Thor. I think it's a good movie. It's not bad by any means. A lot of people don't like it, and a lot of people love it. If you don't know what that means I'm right in the middle. Probably would have made more sense if, you know, you saw my hand motions, but you didn't. So Thor's a good movie. Loki, of course, was great. Thor himself, I thought he worked well enough in the movie. I think he's better on an ensemble cast, I'd say. I think Thor got better as time went on. It's just the Earth stuff, you know. It feels very like the tones clash very much. It doesn't feel like they worked it quite well enough to, you know, the grandness of Asgard to the Earth, you know, boring. It's not like they could even done a cool looking place on Earth. They just did New Mexico. I mean, no offense to New Mexico, but seriously? That's the best you can come up with? What's the movie's budget? Actually, I'm interested in that. What is Thor's budget? Thor budget. $150 million, and they couldn't come up with a more interesting freaking... Close the tab. They couldn't come up with a more interesting place, really? Alright, whatever. Anyway, let's see what we got next. Next up is Captain America, the First Avenger. Captain America, I'm sorry. Captain America, the First Avenger is a really cool movie. I think it's great, I love it. The problem lies with the second half. I think the first half is like magnifico. But then the second half happens and it's fine, or hoorah, you know? It's not really cool. Actually, no, that's not. No, it's fine, it's fine. No, I'm not changing your names anymore. It's good. Okay? It's good. Anyway, Captain America's still a really cool movie. I love the character. He gets, again, sort of like Thor, he gets better over time, and especially once he's a Winter Soldier, and it's just like, awesome, you know? I still liked him. That was a cool enough character. I thought he was a cool character, but I think at that point I still preferred Iron Man. Actually, no, looking back on it, I mean, if I were to watch, because I can't jump into the MCU mid-series. Looking back on it, if I were to have been there from the beginning, I probably would like Iron Man the most. I think I like the Hulk the most, probably. And Captain America probably wouldn't have been my favorite until like, Winter Soldier happened, you know? I still think it's a really good movie. I think Bucky, I love the relationship between Steve and Bucky. I think that's incredibly well handled. I just in general love the first half, and the second half is fine. Other than the ending is beautiful. Not the actual fight itself, the fight was so-so. But especially that last line, I had a date. That is so, it's just so upsetting, you know? Excuse me for a moment. Sorry about that. Anyway. Oh. Moving on now. Hold on. Anyway, I promise now we are ready to move on to... Actually, I'm rewatching MCU with a friend of mine who's never seen them. And we're watching them, He's been enjoying them so far, for the most part. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I was gonna say, maybe when we're done rewatching all the MCU movies, what I could do, I'll do an official ranking, not just tiers, because it's just gonna be tiers. At the end, we can have an official ranking, it'll be great. If this does well. Excuse me. Anyway. The Avengers! Where is the Avengers? Here. The Avengers is, it's fine. It's a pretty overrated movie. I mean, it just didn't get enough screen time for everyone. Loki was just very, you know, eh. I mean, he's not menacing at all. What's up with that? I'm just kidding. The Avengers is magnifico. Magnifico. I love the Avengers. It's so amazing. All the characters feel like, except for Hawkeye, all the main Avengers, they feel, you know, like they're truly coming together. It feels like they all have a good amount of screen time. Never feels overstuffed. The movie's very streamlined, the actual story itself, but it worked. The final half hour is outstanding. It's other than one other, I'd say it's the second best final battle in the entire series. It's that good. I love the Avengers. It's so good. It's just so good. How can you go wrong with the Avengers? And it made characters that I didn't love, like Thor. I liked Thor more in this movie than I did in Thor. And like Black Widow, I thought she was better in this than she was in Iron Man 2, you know? My only problem in this movie lies with Captain America's suit. It's terrible. I hated it. I still do hate it. In case you don't remember, I'm going to show you how bad Captain America's suit was in the Avengers. I mean, look at that. Come on. How is that a good suit? Jeez. Anyway, moving on. Let's see, what's our next movie? Wait a minute. Okay. Let's stay here. What's our next movie? No. What's our next movie? Iron Man 3. Where is Iron Man 3? Iron Man 3 is going on the really cool tier. I think it's a really cool movie. Hence, it's on the really cool tier. Yeah. Anyway, a lot of people don't like this movie. I've heard people calling it the worst MCU movie. I'm like, did you not watch Iron Man 2 or Thor or Incredible Hulk or any of the movies I put below Iron Man 3? I mean, come on. Iron Man 3 is a great movie. I mean, unless you're like a hardcore comic book fan, and spoiler for the movies, well, all the MCU movies, spoiler, the blatant switch with the Mandarin. If you didn't like that, and you're a comic book fan, like, oh, they screwed up my favorite Iron Man villain, and my favorite Marvel villain, no. I'm sorry, apparently that's what comic book fans sound like. I'm sorry to all you comic book fans if I offended you. I sincerely apologize, but other than that, moving on. I mean, if you're a hardcore comic book fan, I get it, yes. But if you're just a regular Marvel moviegoer and you didn't like it, I don't understand. I really don't. Because I have two problems with the movie. Other than that, I think the movie's great. It has solid action, really good action, a good score. Yeah, almost all of the MCU movies have a good score. Well, I don't really remember Thor's, but other than that, all the ones here I think have good to great scores. Yeah, it has a good score, good action, great characters. And I love that because you have plenty of Iron Man all the movies. I love how they made this one more Tony Stark focused, you know? How they stripped him away from his suit and he had to use his brains to defeat the bad guys, for the most part. Or for some part, at least. Like that scene where he was going into the mansion and he was taking down the bodyguards, or the, not bodyguards, what are they called? Security guards from behind. And I thought that was really cool. I like that stuff a lot. Okay, here are my two problems. One, the villain. I thought the Mandarin switch was funny. I liked it. It's just, we didn't get a good villain by the end, where I didn't care very much for killing it. He was very generic, you know? He was very, he was very fine, you know? Not in that way, just, the Iron Man 2 kind of fine, you know? And, my other problem is, they basically retcon the end of the movie. Tony Stark retires at the end of the movie, and then Age of Ultron is Iron Man again. They do explain it in Civil War, but still, the movie does get retconned, so kind of sucks because of that. But other than that, I think it's a really good movie. A really cool movie. I know, Iron Man 3. Next movie. Jeez, this video is gonna be way too long, isn't it? It's already 15 minutes. Jeez, a loo. Anyway, Thor: The Dark World. It was fine. It exists. Okay. There was one thing I want to acknowledge about Thor: The Dark World that no one else acknowledges, and it really deserves credit for this. That is how the film looks. Especially in Asgard, the film looks beautiful. It really does. Even when me and my friend were watching, like, wow, this movie looks so good. Like, yeah, it does. Other than that, there's not much else. I mean, Loki is, of course, great, but that's what you expect. The Thor and Loki chemistry was on fire. It was awesome. But you can still get that in Thor Ragnarok, you know? Other than the visuals, you can get everything that you liked in Thor: The Dark World and all the other MCU movies, you know? And if you want to see that this sort of style and not the Thor Ragnarok style, you can go with Thor. Thor is better, you know? But I still think it's a fine... Oh, the villain. Jeez, I didn't talk about the villain. Malekith. Must we talk about Malekith? No! Next movie. Captain America the Winter Soldier. Captain America the Winter Soldier is magnifico. It really is. I mean, I have one very minor critique, and that is... Well, I said spoiler already. That is the fact that Nick Fury dies and comes back to life. I know this happened a lot in comics, but I don't really like how they kill someone off, and then they come back later, you know? I'm not a big fan of that. Yeah, that's why Thor: Dark World is just or fine, you know? But other than that, Captain America the Winter Soldier is purely magnifico. The action is outstanding. I love every single character in this movie. The villains are amazing. The political thriller sort of style, I think, is great. It's very unique in the MCU. Good job, Russo brothers. This movie's so good. It's just magnifico. It is. You can define. Arguably deserves to be up here, but really it's like on par with the Avengers in my opinion. So then both of them win, and we're just leaving it at magnifico. It's fine. Just leave it like that. Alright, let's see what we got next. Next up is Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy is magnifico. No way around it. Just is. Again, sort of like Winter Soldier, I have one minor gripe with the movie, and that is Ronan. But I don't mind it. I thought it was fine. I thought he was good enough in the movie. He was passable, you know? And because of that, I don't really have any major problems with the movie. Other than the villain, he's kind of boring, you know? Like, he's fine. But other than that, everything else is magnificent. Soundtrack is amazing. Characters are all wonderful, especially Rocket. Rocket stole the show in this movie. And just the story, the music, the effects, it's all there. Everything you want, it's all there. It's such a great team movie. It's the Space Avengers. This is not Guardians of the Galaxy, it's Space Avengers, okay? Next movie. Next movie is Avengers Age of Ultron. Let's see. Gonna put Avengers Age of Ultron on the hoorah tier. Because I think Avengers Age of Ultron is a hoorah movie. Turns out hoorah is officially an adjective. Yep. Alright. Anyway, let's talk about Avengers Age of Ultron. It's a good movie. I like Avengers Age of Ultron. It gets too much hate. It really does. Sorry about that minor break, guys. Somebody just walked in, so I had to mute and everything, and then cut, and then blah, 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 blah. That's an official term. Anyway, Age of Ultron. It's a good movie. Everything, the highs of this movie are just as high as the adventures. The action is still great. Actually, what's actually kind of underwhelming about the movie is the score. The score is pretty forgettable in this movie. It has one of the weakest scores, I would say, in the entire franchise. Which is unfortunate, you know, because all the other Avengers movies have great scores, except for this one. Kind of sucks. Oh well. Ultron, I liked Ultron, but I wouldn't say I loved Ultron. He had too much personality, I'd say, you know? I mean, he's a robot. Come on. And I felt like they could have done more with Ultron, you know? Because he has access to all the power grids and everything. Imagine, this could have been, like, called Avengers Lockdown or something, or Avengers Quarantine or something like that, I don't know. Because Ultron could have just locked down all the power, the Avengers would almost be useless, and they would have to use their brains to take down Ultron. Imagine that. Imagine they could have done that. That would have been so cool. And then Thor would still be super powerful, but still. Imagine that beat insane. Well, Thor probably just imagine a constant battle, Thor powering everything back up, there's lightning and Ultron powering down, it's just like pressing. It's like when you have the light switch and you flick it on and off, and you do it for fun. That's basically what the movie would be. Anyway, how did I get to this topic? Alright, let's talk about Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Scarlet Witch got better over time. She was decent in this movie, but I liked her more in future movies. Especially in Infinity War, in my opinion. I like her in Age of Ultron, it's just the accent. Not a fan. And then Quicksilver. He was bad, then he was good, and then he died. Let's talk about Hawkeye. Alright, Hawkeye was much better in this movie than it was in the first Avengers. I will say that. Because, you know, Hawkeye actually got some screen time. Well, he got screen time, but more screen time, he got better development. He felt more like a character, you know? And I really liked that family. It made it feel more like, okay, he's just a normal guy. That's what makes him feel more, he's arguably the most relatable person on the team, you know? That's why I like Hawkeye. All the characters are great. That party scene is freaking fantastic. And it's also fantastic foreshadowing for a certain moment. Anyway, next movie. Next movie is Ant-Man. Ant-Man is a really cool movie. Ant-Man is pretty underrated, honestly. A lot of people are like, it's fine. It's a good enough movie. Yeah, it happened. I'm like, no, you're wrong. Ant-Man is really cool. I mean, I don't scream or get in their faces or anything, but still, Ant-Man's a really cool movie. Great characters. Luis. Must I mention Luis? Luis makes it almost but not quite magnifico, you know? He's that good. Paul Rudd is great in the role. I love him, how they made him like a crook, and he had all these smarts and skills and everything. It was really cool. Seeing that. Hank Pym was great. Hope. I liked Hope. I thought she was pretty cool. The villain. Wasn't a big fan of the villain. He was just sort of the same as Ant-Man, but bad. You know, I don't really like it when they do that in the movies. Like how they did in Iron Man. Actually, I kind of like it in Incredible Hulk because it made for an awesome fight scene. Still. Anyway, Ant-Man is a really cool movie. Stop sleeping on Ant-Man. It's a great movie. Next up is Captain America Civil War. Captain America Civil War is magnifico. It really is. It's just, how can you go wrong with Civil War? The characters are all well balanced, but it's still maintained to be a Captain America movie. I mean, come on, they actually pulled it off with having 13 characters or something like that in the movie. Or is it 12? Yeah, it's 12 heroes because there are 6 on each team. Yeah. So 12 heroes, balanced them all incredibly well. You had Spider-Man being introduced in this movie, and he did not overshadow it. That's how good this movie is. That's how well balanced it is. And I love that they made Tony Stark almost to be the bad guy, because Captain America's your hero. Tony's, well, not the bad guy, but the antagonist. And it's insane that they pulled that off. My problem, it's a really minor gripe in my opinion, but my problem with the war is, it's the writing. Zemo's plan is incredibly coincidental, and if the slightest thing went wrong, it would all it'd just be like a path of dominoes falling down, you know. But it didn't. He lined them all up perfectly. Yeah, and then, how did Thunderbolt Ross get that position, I must ask? I mean, really? He unleashes an abomination on New York. You know what I think we should do? Okay, let's just say I'm a government person. and I'm talking to other government. Okay, I'm government person 1, I'm talking to government person 2 right now. You know what I think we should do? Well, government person 1, we should upgrade Thunderbolt Ross to be head of thing. You're absolutely right, government person 2. No, 1, because it's stupid. Let's just say that. Well, it's not stupid. Why is it stupid? It's wrong. It's wrong. I still love the movie. I think it's magnifico. Oh, I haven't talked about the action scene. Why haven't I talked about the action scenes in this movie? The airport scene is... because there's silence. That's how good it is. And then the final battle. Everyone talks about the airport scene, but nobody talks about the final battle. The final battle, I would say, is arguably just as good as the airport battle. Seriously, that good. Nobody talks about it. It's sad. And I mean, the foot chase is fantastic, and then turns into a motorcycle chase, and then a car chase. It's insane. And then the opening fight scene in what was it, Lagos? I think it was Lagos. Yeah, is it bad that I remembered that? This is how I spend my time, everyone. Rewatching Civil War. Anyway, let's see. Next movie. Where's Doctor Strange? Doctor Strange is a really cool movie. It's not magnifico, but it's really cool. My problem with the movie is that it feels like the Doctor Strange origin story squished into the Marvel template. You know, Iron Man, Ant-Man, all that stuff. It feels very formulaic. You can sort of predict what's going on, but what isn't formulaic is the visuals. The visuals are like Inceptions on, I don't know, cocaine or something. It's that good. It's insane. Is there a good way to summarize the visuals for Doctor Strange? I guess so. But I really liked how this is really the only one until Infinity War they actually have a movie. Sorry about that. Focusing around an Infinity Stone. What are these hand motions I'm doing? It makes no sense. If only you could see me right now. Why? But Doctor Strange is a really cool movie. Benedict Cumberbatch does a great job. I liked some of the side characters. Some of them were just you know. They were just there. But overall, really enjoyed Doctor Strange a lot. It's a great movie. Next up is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is a hoorah movie. Hoorah! A lot of people think it's like Magnifico, or like better than the first Guardians. I disagree, clearly. I think it's a hoorah movie. Don't get me wrong. But I have a problem. Okay, let's talk about the good. The third act is fantastic. This was based off the third act, it'd be Magnifico. But it's not. It also includes the first 2 acts, which are very mixed bag in my opinion. The first act, yeah, some great character moments, some good action, get to spend more time with the characters we love. But there's this mean. First of all, the gold people suck. Sovereign. Rocket is pretty much the bad guy of the first act because he stole the batteries, and that's very distasteful. I mean, it sets him up for a good arc throughout the movie, but I don't know. When you have the heroes as the bad guy or unlikable, like as I said in Iron Man 2, you have the heroes unlikable, doesn't, you don't attach them as much, and it feels distasteful. And then the second act, the main characters are split up in 2 groups the entire time, and I don't enjoy watching Baby Groot being tortured. That just hurts my soul. So, yeah, there lies my problems with Volume 2, but Yondu is freaking amazing in this movie. I liked him in Guardians of the Galaxy, don't get me wrong, but Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is just so much better. He is a freaking outstanding character in Volume 2. He's not. Yondu is Magnifico in Volume 2. But at the end of the day, because of the problems I have with it, I probably wouldn't rewatch it as much as some other movies. It's super close to a really cool, super close, but I can't quite get it up there, you know? I enjoy it, I think it's a good movie. I can't quite get it there. Alright, next up is... Spider-Man Homecoming. Spider-Man Homecoming is a really cool movie. I loved Spider-Man Homecoming. When I first watched it, I was so happy because first of all, at that time, and perhaps still is between Spider-Man and Captain America. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero at that time, at least. And I'm like, yes, he was so cool in Civil War. I can't wait to see him have his own movie. And I was so happy with how it turned out. It was great. And there were that moment when Peter was under the rubble, and he's like, "Come on, Spider-Man!" I love that moment. It's so good. My problem lies with there's no particularly memorable action sequence, you know? I mean, maybe that's okay for some, but, and there's a problem that, in my opinion, Far From Home fixed. I felt like, and I didn't really feel John Watts' print on the movie, like directorial print. I felt more like it was Tom Holland or Kevin Feige, you know? Overall, I think the movie's great. I'm not a big fan of some of the side characters. They're okay. They're just fine, in my opinion. And the action sequences, they're very small scale. And I kind of like it, I kind of don't. I also not a very big fan of the whole Spiders suit Iron Man Jr. thing. Oh no, I didn't really like that. Because, Spider-Man is special enough on his own. I don't think he needs all that side stuff. But the Vulture is one of the best villains in the MCU. He's freaking magnifico. Michael Keaton does a fantastic job. I love the twist that they do with him. I think it's great. Overall, I think the movie's great. I still love the movie, but I can't quite get it to almost but not quite magnifico, you know? It's a really cool movie. Next up is Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok is almost but not quite magnifico. I can definitely say that. Interesting how the 2017 MCU movies get better and better. It just goes from hoorah to really cool to almost but not quite magnifico. Don't know why I did a masculine voice there. Whatever. Anyway, Thor Ragnarok. I love Thor Ragnarok. It's so much. Remember when I said the Avengers is arguably the most fun? Actually, I don't think I said that. I think that happened when my other recording disappeared because something happened, Mr. Computer. That is not cool. Arnold. Yes, that's my computer's name, Arnold. Partially because I have Arnold Schwarzenegger on my favorite computer. Oh yeah, Commando. Heck yeah, amazing movie. Anyway, freaking John Matrix, man, he's a legend. Anyway, moving on. Thor Ragnarok is an awesome movie. It's so much better than the other two Thor movies. It really is. It's colorful. The colors are amazing. Visuals are fantastic. Hulk is hilarious. Everyone's hilarious. All the characters are great. Jeff Goldblum in this movie automatically makes it almost but not quite magnifico. Wait, what else do I have open? Go away. My only problem lies in that they go with too many jokes. They go too far in jokes where they cut some of the emotional drama out. That's my problem, because if they cut out like 5 or 10% of the jokes, it would probably be magnifico. But for now, it's almost but not quite magnifico, you know? I felt like it was a bit too jokey. But other than that, love Thor Ragnarok. It's awesome. Next up is Black Panther. Black Panther is another almost but not quite magnifico movie. My opinion was starting to slowly go down on Black Panther. I was kind of getting into really cool territory. But then I rewatched it last time I did my MCU binge. I loved it. I think it's an almost but not quite magnifico movie. Because all the characters are great, especially Killmonger. Killmonger's a fantastic villain. The score is amazing. It's one of the best scores in the MCU. My main problem is the visuals. Yeah, the storytelling is great. It's probably the smartest MCU movie. I've heard that said before. But, because of how it deals with, real life things, just makes them that much more impactful. And that's one of the reasons Black Panther is so great. But again, as I said, my problem is the visuals. Some of it looks really good. Like, when you first enter Wakanda, that's a great moment. But the action scenes, for example, that opening action scene, where Black Panther is fighting those people in the dark, I had no idea what was going on. I could not see a thing. I was not a fan of that action scene. The action scenes on the cliffside where they're taking over for King, those are really good. I like those action scenes a lot. And the Korean chase was great as well. There were a few moments of spotty CGI, but overall I thought it was really good. But then, especially that climactic battle when the Killmonger and Black Panther are falling down the thingy, and it's a monorail or train thing, whatever it was. Oh, very CGI heavy. Did not look good. I don't know. It looked like a late like 2005 PS2 video game. It was not good. So that's why it's not Magnifico. For everything that it gets right, it does it right. It's so good. But then the problems, they're very present. So that's why you can't quite make it into Magnifico. We're gonna save Infinity War and Endgame for last, because those are the special ones. Next up is Ant-Man and the Wasp. You know, I think Ant-Man is a really cool movie. Ant-Man and the Wasp is fine. It's fine. The action was fine. It's pretty forgettable. One of my problems is actually how they portray Scott Lang, aka Ant-Man. Because he is incredibly jokey, he's treated as a buffoon, who he clearly isn't in the first Ant-Man, and I feel like they mistreated him in this movie. I'm like, dude, come on, what's up with that? Wait, why aren't you doing my boy Scotty justice? I've been watching too much Luis. Anyway, Ant-Man and the Wasp, the villains. Oh yeah, the villains. Sonny Birch sucked. Surprised I remember his name. He was a terrible villain. He was so forgettable, so just... I don't know what that's meant to be, but take it for what you will. And then Ghost, she could have been cool if she got more development, but she didn't, so she was just okay. And all the plot holes at the end of the movie, with how Janet came back, and how did she survive in there, and she's wearing freaking makeup in there. How'd she get makeup? Just how? It's been 30 years or what? If they did the thing like in the Endgame, where they had time travel, time goes slower in the quantum realm than in real time, no, she's still aged. They could have solved all your problems, but you didn't for some reason. But then I guess they made Endgame too predictable. But still, come on, you could have done something to make it smarter. And apparently Hank can need the helmet to get into the quantum realm, and then he just takes out the helmet. I mean, okay. But I have a lot of problems with Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's fine, it's watchable, but eh. Hey guys, remember when I said I didn't dislike any MCU movie? I lied. Because Captain Marvel, it's just... Alright, let's talk about the good first. The Skrulls. I did like how the Skrulls were handled. I thought they were pretty cool. I liked how they made it more sympathetic. I thought it was a good thing they did. Nick Fury. Nick Fury was very entertaining in the movie. He's one of the things that made the film somewhat watchable. But it just didn't feel like Nick Fury, you know? Because in Winter Soldier, they gave this sort of feeling, and I'm pretty sure that, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they said it, that Nick Fury and Alexander Pierce were friends for a long, long time. So you'd think this took place in like the mid-90s, and you'd think that their friendship would go back further than that, but no. Anyway, let's get into the problems now, shall we? Brie Larson. I don't hate Brie Larson. I don't. I just didn't think she did good in the role. Maybe it's just the way she was written. Maybe it was the performance. I don't know. She was written very emotionless, and therefore I didn't gravitate towards the character, and therefore I didn't really like her. The Supreme Intelligence was... And then, Jan Rog was not a menacing villain at all, because Captain Marvel just blasted him across the field. And, what else? Goose. At times, Goose was entertaining, but what Goose did to... How Nick Fury lost his eye was unforgivable. It really was. The fact that in Winter Soldier, when Captain America and Nick Fury had that conversation, last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye. So you were talking about the cat Fury, weren't you? You're making a big deal over a cat. Do you know how stupid that seems now? Thank you very much, Captain Marvel. I hated it. I hated that moment. I hate that moment so much. The post-credit scene, right? That post-credit scene leading up to Endgame, the mid-post-credit scene was a good post-credit scene. I'll give it that. It was a good post-credit scene. Next movie. Spider-Man Far From Home. I like Spider-Man Far From Home more than Homecoming. It's going on the almost but not quite Magnifico tier. We can still grab them from here, right? Yeah. It's on the almost but not quite Magnifico tier. My problems with Homecoming for the most part were all fixed. I still didn't like the whole Iron Man Jr. thing. It was still present. Not as present, but still present. And the friends, I still didn't care. I mean, I thought they were better in this movie. But I still wasn't crazy about them. You know, I thought they were fine. Except for Ned. I like Ned. And I thought MJ was much better handled in this movie. So for the most part, most of my problems were fixed this movie. But it created a few new problems. That was with the writing. I thought the writing in Far From Home was... some of it was... A lot of it was really good. Mysterio was a great villain. When the whole glasses storyline, I mean, it's not a big problem, but I wasn't a fan, really. And that's why it's in the almost but not quite Magnifico tier. I still think it's a really awesome movie. It's one of my favorite MCU movies because it's all the way up here. It's in the top 10 for sure. I thought Tom Holland, I thought he was even better in this movie. I like the suit more in this movie. I really dug the red and black short style. Overall, I love the movie. But not quite Magnifico. Almost but not quite. Anyway. Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. We're going to do these two at the same time. Oh yeah! Let's just put him in now. Alright, Infinity War and Endgame are both going in the oh yeah tier. I have to say like that every time. I have to say like Vector every time. Because Infinity War and Endgame are to me, they're the pinnacle of comic book movies. They really are. I love them both so much. They're both very different as well. Infinity War is a non-stop action movie. You're on your seat on the edge of your seat, on your seat. That's sounds very lame. On the edge of your seat the entire time. It's amazing. And then Endgame, for the first hour, is a slow burn. Second hour, it's a fan service film, and then the third hour, it's the best thing ever, basically. I love them both so much. Infinity War is the Thanos movie, and Endgame is the true finale to the Infinity Saga. It is the true Avengers movie. Well, no, this is the true Avengers movie, really, but this is the proper send-off to the Avengers. It's what they deserved, and I love them both so much. They are both in my top 5 favorite movies of all time. I'm not kidding. They're both that good. I love all the characters in all of them. Except for Captain Marvel, I will say that. That's one of my very, very minor gripes. And I think if they had just saved Captain Marvel Phase 4, did the Black Widow movie at Captain Marvel's time. Oh, excuse me for a moment. Sorry about that, but if I just think that they have saved Captain Marvel for Phase 4, then Black Widow Phase 3 right before Endgame, would have made, spoiler alert, her death that much more emotional. It was already very emotional, but even more than it already was. Mentioned that. I just love these two movies so much. They're just so good. They are just so good. And that's why Infinity War and Endgame are my 2 favorite comic book movies of all time. That's my MCU tier list. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, please. Pretty please. If you enjoyed this sort of thing, I'll probably do more tier lists. Anyway, guess that's it. Peace out.